Hey, how's it going, guys? So, back with another reaction video and review video of a new channel. Welcome. So, we're not going to be doing any Star Wars, Star Citizen, or anything like that. We're going to be checking out something a little bit different. So, one of my viewers put this in the comments section, and I forgot which video it was. I think it was one of my Star Citizen videos. Oh yeah, I was watching like some Star Citizen ship commercials, and the video came out, and one of the guys, I don't know if he's brand new or he's already been a subscriber, but he has been requesting this video, and it's called, crap, it's called the B-17 that flew without a cockpit, and it is by the channel FlakAlley. So shout out and credit goes to FlakAlley for the video. And I'm just reading the description now, but apparently it's about a B-17 flying fortress in World War II was severely damaged in combat and its entire cockpit section torn away mid-flight. By all logic, the aircraft should have gone down instantly, but somehow it kept flying for over 10 minutes. Wow, that's really crazy. But also on top of that, it looks like FlakAlley, there's a lot of like videos under the one that I'm about to watch, and he's got some views, like millions of views. B-29, an insane pilot who nursed this mosquito home. Things like that. But either way, I'm really curious to see what this is about, the B-17 that flew without a cockpit, because for me personally, I really like history. I really like just learning about new things, like historically. I mean, I'm not like really knowledgeable, but there's always something to learn. So I'm really excited to see what this is about and how it was done without a cockpit. So without anything else, let's just jump into the video.
It was the 14th of July, 1944, a thunderous evening. Cruising at 25,000 feet, 24-year-old First Lieutenant Ewald Swanson of the 483rd Bomb Group was pilot of a B-17G flying fortress, nicknamed Mizpah, its tail number 4232109. Their mission was to strike at the very heart of the Nazi stronghold in Budapest, Hungary. The formation consisted of 60 flying fortresses, and as they entered Hungary, they were bombarded by relentless curtains of thick flak. Explosions erupted all around Mizpah, shredding the tail section and punching holes into the battle-worn wings. Nonetheless, the B-17 formation presses through the initial flak bombardment and heads inbound towards their main target, the Ferencváros railroad yards. This was one of the most heavily defended and strategically vital targets of the late war. Critical.
So some of the movies, I don't know why, but now the B-17, just like watching the B-17, I don't know if it's the exact same aircraft, but it's making me think of that movie that I did see a while ago called Unbroken. You know, I still remember his name, Louis Zamperini, and how he became a POW, but he never broke, or, well, mentally, I mean, never broke, never gave information, things like that. So I just think of that movie. If you guys haven't seen that movie, go check it out. I say, in my opinion, one of the best movies. And also, I don't know if this was, I forgot the name of the movie, but it had Lawrence Fishburne in it. It's kind of an old movie. It was about the Tuskegee Airmen. But either way, just like watching like these kind of videos just make me think of all the movies that I saw in the past.
For the movement of troops, equipment and oil,
Tiger
keeping
tanks.
the German war machine alive.
Man, those
Now,
things are beasts.
just seconds away from the target, Bombardier 2nd Lieutenant Kenneth Dudley lines up the Sperry bomb site and successfully releases their bombs. All of a sudden, chaos erupts. A Flak 88 round lands square on the nose of Mizpah. The nose explodes, vaporizing the Bombardier and the navigator.
Wait. Received a direct hit in the nose. The nose blew over the cockpit of the ship until I saw the chutes leave the ship. The plane was covered with blood, and the navigator most likely jumped. But his... Wait, what's that say? Was torn pretty bad. I didn't see the ship as it was hit. And yeah, I mean, look at that. It's gone.
Mizpah, covering the front of the fortress.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, the whole front is just gone.
Blood. The nose peels off above the aircraft, and shrapnel from the cockpit ricochets throughout the cabin, piercing wing gunner Sergeant Wesley Tucker in the chest. The inside temperature
crazy.
plummets to a freezing minus 30 degrees. Due to the extreme damage, the center of gravity shifts to the tail, causing the fortress to pitch up into a vertical. They were mere seconds away from stalling out and entering a death spiral. Astonishingly, First Lieutenant Ewald Swanson, despite no longer having a cockpit, regains control of the battered B-17 and re-enters the formation. The crew of a nearby B-17, nicknamed Yvonne, couldn't believe what they were seeing. A blood-soaked B-17 without a nose pulls up alongside them in one of the most haunting sights of the war. Mizpah was strangely flying as if nothing had happened.
About 2/3 of the way down the bomb run, the nose of 109 peels up. Yeah, I mean, if I was them and I saw that, just like I'm looking to my left or right, and I see a B-17 and it has no cockpit, I'll be like, am I tripping? But that is crazy. It was observed that 5 good shoots and 1 tethered shoot case out of the plane.
What was happening inside the B-17 was even more impressive. Since there was no cockpit or control column left to maneuver the aircraft, under the screaming command of pilot Swanson, the crew had begun to fly the aircraft by pulling the exposed control cables by hand. Despite having lost a significant part of the aircraft, this flying fortress and its injured crew refused to go down, a symbol of unwavering courage and indomitable machine spirit. However, over 200 Flak 88 guns still had their sights set on the formation. Suddenly, another explosion rattles the B-17. A flak barrage destroys their number 2 engine as the fortress begins to lose power and airspeed. With the nose blown off and an engine gone, Mizpah and her crew, through sheer determination and will, kept the aircraft airborne. However, the effects of drag from all the damage received was increasing by the second. Mizpah had fallen far behind the formation by now. For a perilous 10 minutes, the crew battled the control cables to get as far away from the hornet's nest as possible. Now, over Dunaveks, Hungary, pilot Ewald Swanson informed his crew to immediately bail out whilst he held it steady. 7 crew members successfully bail out of the aircraft. Swanson could no longer tame the crippled fortress on his own. Immediately, the B-17 pitches up, trapping Swanson inside the fuselage. He grabs the parachute and keeps it close to him, waiting for the B-17 to stall out. As the fortress comes to a standstill, Swanson takes the opportunity to jump out of the front, but just as he does, his chute catches the torn metal of the cockpit, ripping through the fabric with brutal force. This was a blessing in disguise, however, as if the fabric hadn't torn, he would have gone down with the ship, pinned by centrifugal forces. Swanson is violently flung back, narrowly missing the tail section of the B-17. The young pilot
he got lucky
whilst falling out the sky from 20,000 feet.
60 seconds to impact.
When he opened his eyes, he was seconds away from hitting the ground. First Lieutenant Ewald Swanson immediately opens his parachute, but notices that it had sustained significant damage.
Yeah, look at that!
The chute was not slowing him down enough for a safe landing. The landing was going to be brutal, one that he was unlikely to walk away from or even survive. By sheer luck, on the way down, he spots what he believed to be an enemy POW camp in the middle of a dense forest. Swanson positions himself on top of the trees by the camp, hoping it would break his fall. Several seconds later, he crashes into the dense treetop. First Lieutenant Swanson suffers a broken left leg alongside deep tissue cuts from the tree
he got
branches.
captured.
Against all odds, he survives the landing. The German medics of the POW camp quickly spot Swanson's body in the brush and recover him. They administer life-saving first aid to the young pilot, who has at this point stared death in the face and kept going. In fact, to his amazement, he finds out that the entire crew of his B-17 had survived. His crew were captured nearby, only to meet up at the same camp their pilot had somehow ended up at. A happy accident, as they put it. The crew...
So, wait. So, they all jumped at different times, and they were against all odds, but somehow they still ended up in the same POW camp. That's crazy. Now, this one says, when US POWs held an Olympics at a camp. Huh.
would endure 9 long months through the harsh cold winter at the POW camp. On the 30th of April 1945, US troops would liberate the crew of Mizpah. The war for these young men had finally come to an end. The 8 survivors would return home to the USA that night. Ewald Swanson's bravery that day would earn him the prestigious rank of Lieutenant Colonel before his retirement from the United States Air Force.
Wow.
After the war, he returned to a quieter life, marrying his beloved Katherine Swanson and raising a son together at Michigan, USA. Yet, it was the bond with his B-17 crewmates that remained closest to his heart. In the decades that followed, they would often reunite, old warriors with weathered hands and bright eyes, sharing stories of impossible missions and the unbreakable brotherhood they forged when they were barely more than kids.
That's really good to
would
hear.
Pass away peacefully on the
that's him?
28th of February 2009 at the age of 89. Remembered, not 28th of February 2009.
Oh, so I just started 6th grade. Wait, April. Oh no, I was finishing up 5th grade. My bad. So the 483rd bombardment group activated, deactivated. Wow, 2 distinguished unit citations. 215 combat missions. Wow.
At the age of 89,
insane.
Remembered not only as a war hero, but as the only known pilot to have ever flown an aircraft without a cockpit. Only Mizpah and the men who dared to ride her into hell and back could ever truly understand what that meant.
Sorry about that cut, guys. My camera started acting up a little bit, but I mean, we're close to the end. So the whereabouts of their beloved B-17 Mizpah is unknown. The remains of her crew are yet to be found. Second Lieutenant Joseph H. Henderson, Navigator, KIA. Second Lieutenant Kenneth W. Dudley, Bombardier, KIA. Their sacrifice deserves to be remembered. How many learn of it depends on you. Honor them by leaving a free like, comment, and subscribe. Keep their story alive forever. Yeah, dude, they deserve to have their story remembered until the end of time. But anyways, guys, that was a really good video. The B-17 that flew without a cockpit. So I learned something new today, so I'm really glad, thankful for the recommendation for this video, but I'm also gonna have to check out this channel a little bit more. Like, the next one that's recommended is called the B-29 that fought without a tail. Man, that's crazy. So I might have to check that out, but either way, this was really great, and I mean, the sheer commitment and courage that these men displayed throughout the entire time was amazing. Because I mean, as soon as the cockpit was blown off, they didn't just immediately like bail and said like, nope, we're done. They found a way to like keep pushing forward and found a solution. Okay, so we're gonna manually steer this thing and stay in formation, and that is unbelievable. I mean, if there was no eyewitnesses, no one would believe this. And also on top of that, the fact that Swanson had like so much luck with like parachuting down all that, and the only thing he suffered was like a broken ankle or something, was amazing. And the fact that they all ended up in the same POW camp, is like they are meant to stay together no matter what. So it's really great to see, and they endured months inside the POW camp, and I can't imagine that either. And when they came home, they deserve every single recognition possible, because they flew so many combat missions. They showed bravery, commitment. I mean, it is just amazing, and their story was amazing. Just like one of the one of the many amazing World War II, World War I stories that are still being told. So, and I still want to like check out more videos from FlakAlley. So again, shout out and credit goes to FlakAlley for this video, and thank you so much for the recommendation. So that's all I got for today, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. And also shout out to all my members, subscribers, viewers. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I really do appreciate it. So without anything else, see you guys next time.